Next, we will move on to Community Development Director. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Community Development Director Maria Turner.
Good afternoon. I've been eagerly anticipating my 7 minutes all morning. Maria Turner, Community Development Director. The vision of the Community Development Department is to provide superior public service through 3 priorities. That is staff recruitment and retention, staff professional development, and fiscal sustainability for both the planning and the code enforcement divisions. As I go through a few of the accomplishments that we're most proud of from last year, I was going to attribute those to those certain priorities. In recruitment and retention, what you don't see on the slide is that we have a team of about almost 40 people. We currently have 1 vacancy. We're really excited about that. We had a smooth transition for our chief building official position due to the presence of a highly qualified and ready to take over plans examiner, Jack Smalley, who is now serving as our new chief building official. In professional development, 4 of our team members or staff members earned pilot licenses in support of our drone operation. We also had 1 plans examiner achieve the CASP certification. That is the ability to review the accessibility parts of plans. And I remember when I first started back here, there's like 2 people in the state. Now we have 1 person on our staff. We did have 2. We've also had ongoing certifications through ICC, the International Construction Council? I don't know. It's for the building division. And so our staff continue to get certifications with that. We've had over 300 hours of training offered or taken by our planning team. We do trainings both within our group during planning division meetings, as well as online trainings and off-site trainings. And it includes permit processes, CEQA, which is our environmental analysis process, tribal and cultural relations, and emergency management. For fiscal sustainability, we were awarded a 3-year Cal Recycle grant for illegal dumping abatement. But what you don't see on that slide is that we also are continuing with our Prop 64, Cohort 3, which is for cannabis, illegal cannabis eradication, our APGP grant, which we have in planning, and our CDBG grant for hazardous vegetation. We're just awaiting that award agreement right now. That will go to support the hazardous vegetation program and substandard housing, education, and resource connections. Public service. I think we're still on this slide. Yeah, thanks, Carolyn. Our very impressive team has developed a new electronic permitting system that will include a public portal, which we plan to launch in mid-February. We have established a new citation and fine collection system. We also completed year 1 of the Lake County 2050 process, which is the update of our general plan and all 8 of our local area plans, in addition to a climate adaptation plan. This first year included a lot of public outreach, so we did 2 surveys. One survey was a county-wide, 1-page, easy one. The second one was like a 28 to 30-page survey that was tailored for each individual planning area. We also held 46 public meetings for Lake County 2050. Next slide, please. The 2025 points of something. Oh, let's just call it goals. Our 2025 goal slide. Ongoing trainings, including hopefully sending all 5 of our planning commissioners, should we get our new 2 planning commissioners in time, to the Planning Commissioners Academy that will be held this March in Sacramento. Again, launching our e-permitting system next month with the ability to finally accept credit cards as payment. Right? Where's the, can we all hear the music? I know. So exciting. We also will complete the cannabis policy update and year 2 of Lake County 2050, which will include reviewing the drafts of the Climate Adaptation Plan and the countywide general plan elements, as well as the local area plan elements and the draft programmatic environmental impact report. So we're going to have a lot more meetings that we'll tell you about next year. Next slide, please. Data points and metrics. We issued 1,810 permits. Those were building permits, not counting planning yet. 296 of our active permits were finalized, and our inspectors completed 5,230 inspections. I think that's like 1,000 more than we did last year. We have gotten our citation program rolling, as you'll see under, where is it? There you go. Code Enforcement Division, that last line, amount due from citations. So we're excited that that's starting to build momentum. In planning, we received 470 applications. Now, a lot of these are zoning clearances for building permits. So, but it also includes ministerial, such as zoning permits or conditional use permits. Also land permits, such as voluntary mergers, lot line adjustments, parcel maps, and subdivision maps. It also does include the MAHA project, which in itself was about 16 to 18 different types of permits and entitlements. Next slide, please. Continuing, grants awarded last year for illegal dumping, 290,000. Let's see. Planning staff training hours. Since I don't think I've gotten my 7 minutes yet, so I just want to go over a couple things. In planning, some of the things we've talked about, Subdivision Map Act, AICP certification, which is a planning standard through the American Planning Association of Achievement for Planners, communication skills, presentations, how to give good presentations to the board and to the Planning Commission. We've also done a number of emergency management. And then we are out and about town. Staff presences or staff attendance at other meetings, particularly any municipal advisory committee meeting that any supervisor wants us to go to, we go. We've talked on the radio, we've talked to business groups, we've talked to homeowners associations, and we had a really good time at the fair giving out that survey. We have a bold team of volunteers through our AmeriCorps program, and these ladies were amazing. They were undaunted. They got hundreds of surveys taken that we otherwise may not have had. So we appreciate this year that we've had the opportunity for so much public outreach, and we look forward to continuing that in the future. Next slide, please. So this next one, 2025 data points, is a little vague only because with our new electronic permitting system, we're going to have the ability to produce reports that I don't even know what they are yet. So we plan to continue the metrics that we established last year, but I am very open to any other type of metrics this board might be interested in hearing about next year. And that concludes my presentation.
Do we have any questions from the board?
Just very excited about everything that you've been able to accomplish this year, which is a lot, and the priorities for the coming year. Great job.
Thank you. We have a really great team up there.
Exam first? Yeah. Vice Chair? And then
No question, just a comment, and I appreciate all the public outreach because you guys were really out there everywhere.
Thank you.
You didn't mention that you needed 72 people also to apply for your groups that you were trying to create for your...
Well,
that was a
I do
huge
appreciate
task
the
in
board
itself.
establishing all of those lay packs and then appointing people. So yeah, it was wonderful to get community-focused input from the public.
So one of the things that I think will be possible with your new OpenGov, I know you said you want to give us the number of cannabis permits, but will there be a possibility of breakdown of all permits so that we have an idea of what's happening overall with your permits?
I would be happy to do so.
Yeah, because I
In
think
fact,
that
I could do so
system's-
now if you want.
think
I have it
that's-
here.
I think that system will allow a lot greater flexibility with understanding what goes through.
All types of permits, got it.
Supervisor Owen?
I had a question. I've had people approach me about the 2050 project, how are you feeling about that? Because there's been questions in the communities that they don't have as much input that there was in the past. People that have been on it or been around it, they've approached me about that.
I appreciate that question. We are handling this process very differently than in the past. In the past, we do one local area plan every, 8 years, something like that. It would take about a year and a half, and we'd get it done. This year, with the Lake County 2050, we could not update the county-wide elements without considering our local area plans as well, because they were getting so outdated. And so before we are able to finish the countywide, we then added to the entire project the update of all those area plans as well. I have tried making meetings in the daytime, in the evenings. We send out doodle polls to our LAPACs. We have been passing out cards with our QR code to the website so people are able to keep track of all the events and upcoming meetings. We are able to take input directly from lakecounty2050.org. So if anybody has a comment that they can't attend a meeting or something, but there's something they want us to retain and carry forward as public input, there's an easy way to do it on that website as well.
Okay, are they available on Zoom?
Yes, the
They are?
meetings were
Okay.
recorded and links are available both
Perfect.
at lakecounty2050.org as well as on the county website for the boards and commissions page.
Perfect, thank you.
My pleasure.
Supervisor Pysker?
Yeah, and since it was brought up, and not to get too in the weeds, but we did have a conversation with the Big Valley Advisory Committee, 2 members last week, expressing that they really wanted to have more updates at the municipal advisory meeting, and that people are having a difficult time attending the LAPAC meetings. They call them LAPAC there, but if there was a way to kind of convey what's happening at the area plan meetings to the municipal advisory council, like general highlights that were discussed, and see if there's further feedback. I don't really know what that looks like, but we heard it from our constituents, and so bringing it to
I would be very happy to do so.
Okay.
Whenever they want to put me on an agenda, I'm happy to appear, hang out, answer any questions, as well as hopefully, I'm glad that they're interested, because when we do get to the next review in the summer months, reviewing the actual local area plans, I'm really hoping that the municipal advisory councils will let me use them as public input hubs so that I can get on their agenda with the understanding that that's where the public knows to go. And so it may be easier for them to attend those meetings.
Supervisor Sabatier? And then, yeah.
Real quick, you said you do have some data on you. Did I miss how many dwellings we built last year?
I had to keep it to 11 size font on my slide, so I left out some stuff, but I'm happy to tell you right now. We did have, out of the 1,810 various permits, 28 were for single-family dwellings, those are stick-built homes, and 34 were for manufactured homes. Of the properties, or of the permits that were finaled, 1 was for a stick-built house and 9 were for manufactured homes.
So only 9 or only 10 were finaled?
Correct.
Supervisor Owen?
Trying to remember my question. I think you had mentioned about going back to the advisory committees. I think that's something like in Middletown, and I'm sure Lower Lake, they would very much like that.
Wonderful.
Because that's where I've been hearing some of we're not in contact.
I would greatly appreciate it if they would extend me an invitation to their meeting, and I would be happy to go. I don't want to just, crash their party, but
Perfect.
but I'm always happy to join them.
I think they'd like to have some, more input as well, so.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
And thank you for attending the Earth, Worth, and Surth. I know that you've been at multiple meetings there. Also, just wanted to highlight the citations and how that's coming along. I know there'll be more in the future because I know it just barely laid out, and I I heard you talk about OpenGov. Is that coming close?
Yes, we anticipate a launch on February 12th.
Oh, yes.
There will be a day, if I could just do a save the date, prior to that where our whole counter system will be closed as we transfer permit data into the new system.
Perfect. And I know that'll correlate with the citations and data ticket and all of that. So
As well as, I think it'll be a really good public tool because someone who would normally call our office and say, hey, I don't know about this neighbor, he's doing all this stuff over here. Now they can just go on the GIS system, click, and they'll be able to find out about what kind of permits either are or are not at that location. So it's going to be great. We're excited.
Thank you, Ms. Maria.
My pleasure.
all right. With that, I'll open it up to the public. If there's any comments from the public about this presentation, please come to the microphone. And if there isn't in the chambers, somebody on Zoom, if there is. All right, with that, we'll bring it back to the board, and we will thank you, Director Turner, for your presentation.